Good afternoon, everyone, and we thank you so much for making the time to join today's webinar to discuss the 2D Marketplace. A huge shout out and a warm welcome to the Xometry Network. You, without question, are the heart of the business, and we really appreciate you devoting 30 minutes of your time today. So I know the meeting's scheduled to go a little bit longer, but we do intend to try to keep it to a hard stop to honor your time at the 30-minute mark. So just by way of introduction, I'm Kim White. I'm the leader within the Global Network Operations team, and I'm accountable for partner acquisition, partner strategy, and leading strategic initiatives. And on behalf of the team, we are absolutely elated to have you join us today. We're also happy to report that the attendance on today's session or the pre-registration was the highest that we've had for any webinar, which is really a testament to the excitement that we have internally with Xometry relative to launch of the 2D Marketplace as well as within the partner community. Just a couple of things that we wanted you to kind of actively listen and to reflect on today's 2D Marketplace. This really is our beta, what we're calling our minimum lovable product or minimum viable product. And our goal is to listen to your feedback. And we'll talk today about different omni-channels in which you can provide that feedback. But again, really what we wanted to do is be very quick to market and really lean into our network of partners to provide some insight and feedback in terms of ways that we can further improve that. Another note that I wanted to make at the start is that, and I get this question a lot, will the 2D Marketplace replace our core business? Absolutely not. This is a way for us to really augment the best of the best and continue with our auto quoting platform, as well as also really what I'll say is like responding to the industry. Roughly 70% of quotes that come in are on 2D, non-CAD file, flat files only. And this is a way for us to really generate more opportunities for our partner community. I'm going to do a quick shameless plug, and I know many of us will be doing it within this session. We've just recently launched the Xometry community. If you haven't checked it out, please do. We would encourage you following today's session to go out there to participate in some of the community threads. Give us real-time ideas. Let us know what was excellent about, kind of the marketplace and some things that you've heard, and conversely, some things that maybe aren't what you expected as we think about improving the next generation. And that would be community.xometry.com. And then lastly, just before I kick it over to Hunter, just a couple of housekeeping items. In the lower right-hand section of this meeting, you'll see a chat. Please feel free at any point in the session to chat questions that you may have, and we'll be holding all questions until the end, and we'll have a formal Q&A session. So with that being said, I would like to turn over the session to Hunter Guerin, and he is one of our incredible architects within the product development team, and he'll be focused on sharing the feature functionality. So with that, Hunter, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you.
Thank you, Kim. Happy to be chatting with y'all today and really appreciate everyone online taking the time, as Kim said, to listen to us talk about this marketplace. So really appreciate that. Well, the 2D Marketplace is a new service from Xometry that allows our customers or you to tap into our extensive network now without having a 3D model at all. So with that, we can run into a demo. So Andrea, take it away. So to get started, you can access all open RFQs that match your shop's capability from inside the Xometry portal. You can click View Details to learn more, or simply just tell us you're not interested. Once you're in the Details page, you can review the RFQ notes from the customer, such as quantity, material, and finish, and all other quoting-related drawings. If you have any questions to ask the customer, simply click Chat with Customer and send them a direct note. We have a lot of requests coming through without quantity, so this is a common question that we're working to fix, but they asked the customer for quantity, they got back, and then now you can see that quantity is set to 100, you can upload a quote. You can specify a new lead time if you need, depending on the requirements of the job, and then you can send that quote back directly to the customer. Once you send that, you can review all pending RFQs, so anything that you've responded to in the drop down on the left side. So it showing some all of your pending partners now. I mean, your pending RFQs now. It looks like they've awarded you to the job, so congratulations. But before accepting, you can review the payment details in that previous window, and then if you're ready to get started, just click accept job, and then once you accept job, you can communicate back and forth with the customer, and then when you're done, you just click complete job, and lets us know that the job is complete and the payment will be issued. That's all it takes to find, bid, and win work from Xometry's diverse customer base. So feel free to get started as soon as you get off of this webinar if you haven't already. And as Kim said, this is a minimum viable or minimum lovable product that is hopefully designed to make your life easier. And if it's not yet, then we want to hear that, and we want to hear that feedback. So we already are getting great feedback. It informs the next feature that we build. So we really appreciate that feedback. We wouldn't be able to do this without hearing from you. So don't hesitate to let us know if there's anything that we can do to make this work better for you and your employees, and keep that feedback coming. So with that, there's going to be an opportunity later to join a advisory council for this marketplace to provide that feedback in a more intimate setting. So be thinking about whether you would like to participate in that. We'd love to hear from you. And I look forward to hearing about your experience in the future. So with that, I'd like to introduce Tom James, who will talk a little bit more about the Xometry RFQ difference.
Thanks, Hunter, and hello, everyone. I'm Tom James. I'm the VP of Partner Growth. I handle strategic launches that are geared towards our partner network, and I'm handling the operations piece of the 2D marketplace. I want to give you a little bit of a sense of what we're doing behind the scenes to ensure that you all are getting RFQs that match your shop's capabilities, and that you can maintain a very high win rate like you're used to seeing in your normal business when you're working with other customers besides Xometry. So this slide shows all of the things that we're doing on our end to make sure that you get the right types of RFQs. What happens is when a customer uploads an RFQ, it comes into our ERP system. We immediately do a quick vetting just to make sure that somebody didn't get lost and is uploading cat photos or dog photos. We do a quick vetting just to make sure it passes the sniff test and looks legit. We then pass it off to an engineering colleague who does a high-level design for manufacturing analysis, and he will categorize the RFQs as low complexity, medium complexity, or high complexity. He also gives a sense of what type of machine the RFQ might require. He passes it back to myself and my colleague, Sarah Smeltzer. And after that, we go into a very large database that is fueled by the partner profiles that you put together on Xometry's portal. So we have access to what kinds of machines you have, what materials you like, et cetera. And we run a series of algorithms through that database, and we pick a cohort of shops that we think are right to receive this RFQ. We then send the RFQ out to you all and hope that we have hit the sweet spot for you and that you will quote. After we send it out, we may follow up with you just to remind you that quoting deadlines are coming due. If we're not seeing a lot of quotes come in, we may give you a slight nudge just to say the deadline is approaching, like please hop on there and see if this is right. And then if we see that people no quote, we actually will send it out to more partners to see if somebody else might be right for the job. And the reason we do this is we want to average between 3 and 5 quotes for our customers, since that's an industry standard. My colleague Jesse Hartheimer is going to talk about the early bird getting the worm, but I would like to put in a plug for quoting early and often. The higher percentage of RFQs that you quote on, it will mean that we will be able to, over time, send each RFQ to fewer and fewer shops, because we know that we're going to get the 3 to 5 quotes that our customers want. So that's just an encouragement that I would give. And finally, we're there to do any troubleshooting with our payment platform, Stripe, in case the customer or you guys run into any issues. We want to make sure that you get paid in a timely manner and that you don't have any issues with flow. So hope that helps give you a sense of what we're doing on the back end to kind of promote the hygiene and the quality of the RFQs you get. And I'll be around later for questions. Next, I'm going to pass it to my awesome sales colleague, Jesse Hartheimer, who's going to run you through some pro tips that we've learned from our sales process.
And sorry, I want to hop in just quickly to underscore what Tom said. So our goal is to make sure that we can really do specific matching to your shop's capabilities. So you would have received a marketing email that went out in the past day or two asking you to go in, and I know it may seem redundant because we do capture your shop capabilities within the context of our ERP, but we're looking for what I'll say is that next level of granularity. So please make sure that you do, open the email, go ahead, select yes, I want to participate, because that's really the impetus for us to bring you into the 2D quoting network. And then lastly, it probably takes maybe a minute or two to update the capabilities down to that specification. And again, that will help us make sure that we're able to put those RFQs into the bin that would be right for your shop.
Kim, thanks so much for that reminder.
Yeah, you're welcome. Jesse, over
Jesse,
to you.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Jesse Hartheimer. I am a senior account executive here at Xometry, which essentially means I work on the front end with our customers. At this point in time, up until about a month ago, we were only selling the auto quote on our site, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with. And so what I'm going to talk about a little bit is how this service is different than our core service, the auto quote. Things you can do to put yourself in a better position to win these deals, and a few other notes just based on my experience. So the first thing is that this is a different setup to the customer than with the auto quote. When I'm delivering a quote to the customer through our auto quote system, in general, they believe, the customer knows that it's going to be the best price and the best lead time that Xometry can provide throughout our network, right? In this service, they're going to get multiple bids, and they may not be used to Xometry sending them more than one bid. So it's extremely important to get your quote there first, if possible, and quick. We already have examples of this in our system, and there are studies that also show the importance of being quick back on the response. So I'll start with the studies, I guess. So Harvard Business Review, they analyzed over 1.25 million sales leads, and basically determined that if you respond within the hour versus 2 hours or after, you're 7 times more likely to close the sale. That was one study. On another study led by Lead Simple, they're a CRM company, kind of like Salesforce. They note that if you respond in the first 5 minutes, you're 21 times more effective than if you respond half an hour or later. So there's science behind the idea that responding quickly is effective. With my first 2D sale, that obviously it was a team effort at this point, the customer submitted an RFQ. They got their first response back, I believe, the day after. They were in a rush to get this ordered, so they quickly pursued that option. And by the time they had placed the order, they had already received 2 other RFQs that were cheaper in price than the original one. So what that tells me is that they found a price that worked for them. They were in a rush to get it ordered. They saw an option that worked for them, and they pursued it. So just because you may not have the best price, send them a quote. If you can't do it exactly as they're requesting, I'd still recommend send them a quote with a comment. It's better to give them something rather than nothing, and it'll start a conversation with them. The last thing, obviously, it's important to keep pricing competitive. It's my opinion that in this service, speed is a little bit more important than price, based on my experience. So the quicker you can be and the more responsive and you can be with the customer, I think you have a higher likelihood of winning these deals. And it sounds like on the back end, Tom and Kim are working on ways to make sure that the opportunities that get sent to you are best suited for your shop. I'll be around for questions as well after, and thank you guys for the opportunity. And I'm going back to Tom James now. I apologize. Yep. Take it away.
Wow, I'm feeling very special. I get 2 slots on this. So, hi again, everybody. We wanted to talk about an exciting incentive for quoting that we rolled out a few days ago. We know that with any new initiatives, there's probably some level of risk that you perceive in kind of jumping into this with us. And we know that when you quote jobs, it costs money. It's time and money. So we wanted to provide a little boost here at the beginning to provide some additional incentive to quote. So what the offer is between now and July 31st, for every 3 jobs that you present a formal quote, we will send you a $100 Amazon gift card. Now, it is not capped at $100. If you quote 6 jobs, you'll get a $200 gift certificate. It goes all the way up to $500. So if you quote 15 jobs between now and July 31st, you'll get a $500 Amazon gift card. So just wanted to make you all aware of that. So quote early and often. I'm going to pass it on now to my colleague Adam Bowe, who is going to tell you about the amazing Xometry community where you can have peer-to-peer interactions with your fellow partners.
Thanks, Tom. Hey, everybody, and sorry for the lack of webcam on my part. I'm having some technical difficulties, so you don't get to see me today, but we're all working from home, so that may be a good thing because some of us got the grout fit going on. But the manufacturing community, we launched it, well, we soft launched for the partner resiliency program that I believe a lot of you guys were a part of, and we officially launched around a month ago. And what we've been able to add in here is all of our partner onboarding guides, knowledge bases surrounding the partner network, shop finances, the RFQ Marketplace, all of the information at your fingertips. And the reason we wanted to launch this is because when talking to a lot of you guys and looking at the industry, we saw everyone was very active in online communities, Facebook groups, Reddit threads, etc. So what we want to do is put all of our information at your fingertips so that you're able to quickly and efficiently get that information, but also be there with you guys to answer any questions that our knowledge bases may not, and give you guys the opportunity to engage with one another in discussions and categories to, help each other as you start to have questions and find those answers. You're able to help your fellow partners with, navigating the Xometry network as we launch all of these exciting opportunities. So I want to give you a quick demo and kind of a tour of the space. Oh, there you go, Zandria, she's got it up. So right here, you see all of our knowledge bases, and what you're able to do, you're able to either click into some of these widgets and find your questions. Zandria, if you want to click on shop finances right there. And so if you had questions around the Xometry Advanced card, you could click further in. If you had Xometry around the new payment systems, we provide guides here for getting started. Now, if you had questions, Andrea, if you want to go back to the original help page. If you had questions that you wanted to search and you didn't know necessarily where they were, Zandria, if you want to type in sign up for Xometry Advanced card, you're able to quickly search all of our knowledge bases. We serve you recommended articles. You can say activating your Xometry Advanced card if you want to read that article there, and give you a step-by-step walkthrough of how to actually activate your card. At the bottom, you'll see, scroll down a little bit for me, Zandria. At the bottom, you'll see next. So again, this is kind of a step-by-step guide, but you'll also see related articles. So if all of our articles are connected where, we know that you have questions around activating your card or signing up for your card. So we try to serve you things that would, quickly and efficiently answer the questions that you may have next. Now, Zandria, if you want to go to categories for me real quick. No, sorry, not organized categories. Categories up in the top left corner. There you go. This is where you're able to actually engage with your fellow partners. So we have categories such as, general shop talk, introducing yourself to your fellow community members. We also have a partner sub-community. So as we look to add in folks that maybe aren't a part of the active network that would, also be quoting on the RFQ Marketplace, they won't have access to the partner sub-community, which would be kind of a special place for you guys. So if you scroll down a little bit for me, Zandria, that's where you'll see announcements on new products. You'll see repairs in progress as you guys, report bugs and product feedback to us. There's partner onboarding guided questions. So as partners are coming onto the network, that allows our existing partners to engage with them and have their questions answered. There's questions around the Xometry job board or discussions happening there. Shop finances, I know that was an exciting, but also, a product that had a lot of questions surrounding it. So you'll see folks engaging with the questions, both with Xometry employees and each other. And then if you want to click into the partner events, Andrea, this is where we'll have our live Q&A or our Q&A session that we don't get to after during the live Q&A portion of this. And then if you're interested in joining the Marketplace Advisory Board that Kim plugged, this is also where you could opt into that, where Kim and Hunter could reach out to you. So we're really excited about this. There's also a live chat feature within the community. So that was what I was talking about as far as meeting you within the space. So when you get to the community, if you're not able to find a discussion thread that would is happening around your needs, or actually find the answer within the job board, you'll actually see my name pop up next to the Xometry chatbot, and that is me or one of my colleagues chatting with you. Most of the time it's me or Casey Bennett or Teresa Sipe. I know Zandria is in there as well. Kim even makes an appearance sometimes. So that's not chatting with a bot most of the time. We do serve you FAQs if we know the answer, but that is chatting with a live person. So we want to quickly and efficiently answer your questions while you're in there. And then if we get enough of the questions that you're asking, we'll actually add those to our knowledge bases so that in the future you'd be able to search that or find that within the knowledge base. Let's see, I believe I'm passing to Zandria to feed us some of our questions and answers here.
Yes,
and I'll
thank
also
you.
be around for questions.
Thanks, Adam. Thanks, Tom, Jesse, Hunter, Kim. So we've reached the part of our presentation where you guys can ask your questions, whether they're about the community, the RFQ Marketplace. If you have a question about sales, any question that you have, you can feel free to type it into the chat, and I will ask it to the appropriate member of our team. If you have some questions that you think about later down the road, we know that happens to all of us, you can jump into the community and post your questions there as well. So we'll give it a few minutes. We're doing great on time, just to see if you guys have any questions. And if not, then I'll pass it back to Kim to close us out. So we'll give it a few minutes. Okay, you guys must have done a great presentation. Everyone feels informed.
I feel like there's so much more that we could cover. So in closing, I would say thank you. I know 30 minutes is a lot, and today is the first of many webinars. We really wanted to be able to socialize the 2D marketplace, really introduce ourselves as leaders and architects of the product, and then just a few things that I wanted to, like a few nuggets that I wanted to reinforce in closing. As Jesse mentioned, and we've seen this with not just the first, but subsequent quotes have been awarded, like bidding fast is absolutely a secret to success. And I'll say there's another kind of nugget as well. When you make that first interaction with the customer and you start to build that through chat, that oftentimes will sort of make that relationship primary and cost secondary. So think about like building your quote early, and also like making a business introduction through chat. Also, just wanted to mention, when you're winning, we're winning, and an essential piece to this that truly we're building into the process is to make sure that we're providing feedback. So if you're continuing to, to put quotes in there, Tom, Hunter, all of us are building feedback mechanisms so we can help you get better with information about how to continue to bring those quotes forward. Also, $500 is awesome. So, just as a reminder, it's a great way to get comfortable with the platform, to make a little bit of extra money pre-Christmas. And then lastly, as Adam mentioned, like, join us in the community. We're all in there. Like, there's a piece to it where there's a self-service and there's a bot, but there's also, like, we're all in there. If you have any questions at all as you're preparing a quote, if something, doesn't, you can't find something within any type of documentation, we are absolutely here to support you. And so with that, I'll say thank you so very, very much for your time. Please do, if you're interested in signing up for the advisory board, please go out there. I know a lot of us have personal interactions. Shoot me an email if there are different topics that we would want to cover. But again, we thank you so very much for your time and look forward to engaging with you in the community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.